The Definitive Analysis of Hamlet, Robert Grover.
To analyze or not to analyze, that is the question. And the answer for thousands of literary scholars over the years has been to analyze. And so, the tragedy of Hamlet by William Shakespeare has probably been analyzed more than any other piece of literature ever written. But I don't think many scholars are going to bother with Hamlet anymore, because, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I have finally uncovered the very simple but important message that Shakespeare was trying to convey through his 4,000 lines of dialogue. And I think this message will be obvious to all of you after you hear the definitive analysis of Hamlet. After the curtain opens, we find out that Hamlet's father, the King of Denmark, has recently died. And within a month, his mother, the Queen, has married her deceased husband's brother, Claudius, who through this marriage has conveniently ascended to the throne. Hamlet compares his deceased father to Hercules, but compares his new stepfather to a mildewed ear. So it's understandable when we first meet Hamlet that he's been moping around the castle for some time. But his new stepfather says to Hamlet, "This is unmanly grief." Claudius was not a sensitive New Age guy. But he was king. So all Hamlet can say is, "Break my heart, for I must hold my tongue." This is a classic case of repressed anger, which is certain to turn into severe depression unless Hamlet starts seeing a psychiatrist. But since the action of the play takes place centuries before Freud, there are no psychiatrists listed in the phone book. Then to add insult to injury, the ghost of Hamlet's father drops by for a visit, tells Hamlet he isn't particularly enjoying the afterlife. And by the way, would he mind avenging his foul and unnatural murder? It seems Claudius wanted to be king so much, he murdered his own brother by pouring a potent poison into his ear while he slept. Now this is carrying sibling rivalry just a little bit too far. Now most people in Hamlet's shoes would go straight to Claudius and enact some foul unnatural murder upon him. But Hamlet procrastinates. He keeps putting it off. For one thing, he thinks he needs more proof. Now this actually does make sense. Say he does kill the king at this point. There's going to be a trial. The prosecutor's going to ask Hamlet why he did it. And all Hamlet's going to be able to say in his defense is, "Because my father's ghost told me Claudius killed him." You'd need a pretty expensive team of lawyers to win a case like that. Fortune finally smiles upon Hamlet as he seeks his proof. A troupe of actors that he knows comes to town to put on a play for the king and queen. Hamlet inserts into their play a not very subtle scene in which they enact the murder of someone by, I'm sure you're way ahead of me here, by pouring poison into his ear. When they act out the scene, Claudius nearly passes out. And Hamlet is convinced this is the proof he needs. In the final scene, Hamlet finally kills Claudius. But there is no cheering from the audience. We see in the process Ophelia's brother, Hamlet's mother, and Hamlet himself are all mortally wounded. But as the curtain closes, the audience is grateful for one thing. Because all the major characters are dead, they know there's not going to be a sequel. So you see, because Hamlet procrastinated, Hamlet and 4 innocent bystanders all end up dead. By now, the message that Shakespeare was trying to convey through 3+ hours of Hamlet should be pretty obvious. The message is, if you've got something to do, don't put it off, just do it!